Tammy Sitch is in the news. Brett talking about AEW and staying home. Wow. And a classic Owen prank that no one has ever heard of. And we have a round table with our special guests. All this and more on It's Just Another Effing Podcast. Hit the music. Coming to you live from the effing Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown. It's just another effing podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening if we don't see you until later. Happy Mother's Day if you're watching live. If you're listening to us on Monday, hey, dumbass, you forgot Mother's Day. Call
you
mother,
bastard.
Right?
You bastard.
I'm telling you.
I called the JFB's mom. I wished her a happy Mother's Day. And, of course, Amazon won't deliver until Monday. But, hey, what are you going to do? It's Amazon, and it's free delivery, so you can't bitch and complain. Welcome to Just Another Effing Podcast. I am one of your hosts. I am the groundbreaking, devastating, hip-shaking son of a gun, otherwise known as, woo, the JFB, James from Boston.
And I just want everyone to know that I'm on full Canada Dry mode because I feel like a superhero in my super new shirt. Yeah. So I'm in full Canada Dry mode. So without further ado, I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I'm that ginger the bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Oh, yes, Canada Dry. Always goes down smooth, especially when you're drinking it, chasing it with a big, huge heaping spoon of poutine. And we are joined, of course. Hello, Joseph Graham. How are you? And Brianna, our newest member of AFW. Good afternoon, guys. So we are going to do a round table. And George Penny, happy Mother's Day. Yes, call your mother, George, and tell her happy Mother's Day. She will get a big kick out of it. Tell her that JFB loves her, and she's the best mom because she made George Penny that much better. So we are joined by an esteemed group of individuals. You may have seen them on wanted posters in the post office or on the FBI's top 10 site. We are joined, of course, by, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Go right ahead, gentlemen. Introduce yourselves to the world of professional wrestling.
Of course, you all know me as The Magician. You can find me live on this channel every Saturday night with the Magic of Wrestling, and we talk a lot about fans.
Yeah, sweet.
So you're the one. You're the one that's on the wanted posters. Thank God, because I thought it was me. I am today. I am Mr. Provolone, but you all might know me as. Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did. But today, of course, that's what I am. I'm Jeff Chadwick. I am owner and runner of Meltdown, and I am so happy to be here on this podcast.
Sweet. All right, so. We always have a lot of fun, jocularity, but we do have a serious, we have a serious segment, of course, and of course that segment is the Week in Review. We are, of course, joined by, his name is Kenny, and he's an upstanding citizen.
He's a journalist, damn it.
Yeah, so he's backstage at the effing Worldwide Media Studios green room. All right, so Kenny can hear us. We'll have his segment later on in the show. But before we get to everything else, we have to get to is FNN, the FN News Network.
So we're gonna get that in there. FNN.
So, unfortunately, for those who follow professional wrestling's biggest boneheads, the biggest one of them all is the constantly inebriated and often driving drunk Tammy Sitch, otherwise known as Sunny. She has been officially charged with a DUI manslaughter and could face up to 30 years in prison. Not jail, ladies and gentlemen, prison. She's had multiple chances. At some point, WWE's just got to say screw it and get rid of her.
I think they already have, pretty much.
What's that?
I think they already have. Like, she's not eligible for any of their programs anymore.
No.
Yeah. Vince Russo said on his recent podcast that Vince McMahon reached out to him and asked him about his thoughts on the current product. Are we buying this or are we selling this? We buying this that Vince McMahon called Vince Russo and asked him?
I want to know what he's been drinking because I want some of that. If he did.
He did call. He said they've been contacted over email. So
Yeah.
Possible, but I don't know how realistic it is.
Vince Russo is drinking tons of Clorox bleach and chasing it with some Molson Golden for sure.
And he recently unfollowed us on Twitter, so screw him.
Yeah. Bret Hart said that he would love to be a part of AEW, but he's also just as content at being home right now. He is a grandfather. He's got some great, good-looking grandbabies. He's hanging out with them. He seems to be in a good place. Is this kayfabe? I mean, are we buying this from Bret, or is he just is he staying in kayfabe and he's coming?
Well, Bret has always said, and he's always said this his whole after career, is that I want to be known as a wrestler. I don't want to be known as a GM. I don't want to be known as a manager.
Yeah.
But maybe he misses the spotlight. And maybe if AEW offered him enough bucks, he could be in for a short run.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, when you look at it, who is it going to benefit more? Is it going to benefit Bret himself? Is it going to benefit AEW? Or is it going to benefit WWE? I mean, I'd like to see him in AEW, especially managing FTR, but until we actually see him, we do not know, because as we know, with social media, we never really know what to believe.
Yeah, true. What do you think, Mr. Provolone?
What he said. No, I agree. I think that, he's had 20 to 30 years in the ring. This is his chance to just relax. But, when you relax so long, I mean, take Austin. He was away for 19 years. He came back because I think personally he misses that spotlight. He only gets it like once a year if he's lucky.
Yeah.
So with Bret Hart coming back, I think that this will happen, and I agree FTR is going to be the team he will manage. So I cannot wait to see it happen.
Absolutely agree.
Also, he has the same deal with WWE as Jake the Snake Roberts, so he is easily able to appear because Jake the Snake is employed by AEW.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of the Hart, happy birthday to Owen Hart. Today is his birthday, and a well-known prankster. He loves ribbing everybody, but here's one that all of us had not heard of.
It slipped through the cracks.
According to Matt Hardy, this is coming from Matt Hardy's own voice. Owen once filled Vince McMahon's office with hot dogs as a prank.
Where
First
did
of
you get
all,
these hot dogs from?
Yeah, well, here's the thing: you go to Hot Dogs R Us, where you can buy in bulk. That's the key. You gotta buy in bulk. You can't buy just 10 and then just throw them in.
Owen was cheap, so I'm thinking he paid $0 for these hot dogs.
Yes'm, it's Essam.
He just managed to get the hot dogs, so I don't think he paid anything.
He went to Hot Dogs R Us, and then afterwards he went to Buns R Us, and then he sprayed ketchup and mustard everywhere. And I'm sure the T-Rex on the wall of Vince's office had hot dogs in its mouth, and
But I think it was probably just the wieners, not the actual buns and everything.
When you say hot dogs, I automatically think hot dog and bun. That's just me. I mean, that's just.
He could have just hid wieners all over the office.
I mean, imagine what Vince says. Oh my God, there's wieners in my office.
What the hell is this shit?
And then him going, Owen! The Forbidden Door, ladies and gentlemen. There was talk for weeks after it was announced that there was no way in hell that they were going to sell this out. They said that this wasn't enough interest with New Japan. It was the talk. Everybody was talking crap and talking shit about this not selling out. In less than 40 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, they sold over 20,000 tickets. It is sold out. Congratulations to AEW, to New Japan. The argument that I use with the internet wrestling community at large is if you look at it, New Japan, if you look at the growth of their market in terms of people signing up for streaming, the United States, Canada, and Mexico are in triple digits in terms of increase quarter to quarter for signups for New Japan. So what are you guys' thoughts on Forbidden Door selling out in less than 40 minutes?
The problem with that is a lot of scalpers are the ones getting the tickets, and I've heard that the tickets are going for $2,000.
Oh yeah.
So like, it's good that it sold out quickly, but I think there might be some empty seats.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of loonies, you know. That's a bag full of loonies right there. What do you guys think, Magician?
I mean, look at the matches which we could actually possibly see. I mean, I know you did an episode recently about booking the show, so you're looking at two great fan bases coming together.
Yeah. George Penning, you got to stop drinking during the day, brother. For those who are not watching and are listening, he said we should have a forbidden door where you try to go through the door and you can't because it's forbidden. But yeah,
and I agree with our friend Joseph. F the scalpers.
Yeah, F the scalpers. So speaking of AEW, trios belts supposedly have already been made. They're just waiting to pull the trigger. Trios belts, are we for it? Are we against it? I don't care either way, but you know, it's just another set of belts you got to worry about. What are you guys' thoughts on the trios?
My popular, I agree with you. Unpopular opinion, I don't give a shit about these trios belts.
Yeah.
Maybe at first I did but now that they got Ring of Honor belts, I don't think we need them.
No, not at all. What do you think, Mr. Provolone?
Well, that just sounds weird. I'm actually excited to see this because I haven't physically watched wrestling and seen trios belts since back in the old NWA days.
Yeah.
So this has been this is quite a while for me to witness this. So I'm actually really excited, and you got a ton of teams that can vie for these titles. So I'm excited to see who's going to go for those and who's going to be the first champions.
The Magician, what are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with Mr. Provolone there. I mean, when you look at the actual factions, what we've got your House of Black, you've got BCC, you've got, my mind just went blank now, but you've got quite a few, things gunning for that. So, yeah, I'm kind of excited to see actually who wins it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Some news coming from Big E about his recent neck injury, his broken neck. The C1 is not healing properly. This could make for some issues. Possibly down the line of just a longer recovery, or he might not ever be able to wrestle again. So our thoughts and hearts go out to Big E because he's one of the genuine guys who loves wrestling. You know, he always has a smile on his face. I've met him at signings and meet and greets, and he's always been a super cool guy. And our last bit of news is Tessa Blanchard. For some strange reason, and the internet wrestling community would agree with me, she's on the outs with WOW, the Women of Wrestling. I'll give you my hot take on this. Listen, I've seen her wrestle plenty of times. Let's be honest. Blanchard, the last name Blanchard, got her where she is, not her wrestling ability. What are your guys' thoughts on Tessa Blanchard and her extremely poor attitude?
I think seen Tessa wrestle, but I probably agree with you. And a leopard doesn't change its spots. You know, you got to try really hard. If you're toxic, imagine the amount of effort you have to put in to change. So unless you really put in that effort, you're not going to change easily.
No.
See, my personal opinion is I haven't seen a whole lot of her matches. So to me, she's kind of like a mediocre wrestler. However, the one match that sticks out was the 90-minute Iron Woman match between her and Mercedes Martinez, which was like probably her biggest highlight of her career.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly the name. I mean, it's just we've seen a lot of people come in the business just strictly for the name, and they actually suck in the ring. So it's like
you wrestle, you're only as good as your opponent. If your opponent doesn't also put on a show, it's not going to be a good match.
That's true.
Magician, what do you think about Tessa?
I mean, I think it were a bad idea for WOW to obviously to sign her, but as you've all mentioned, just everything follows it. It's never good. I mean, look at what she did with Impact with the title. I mean, that was a thing, and then she's not really a good wrestler in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. So we are done with the news. We are going to go again to our favorite, but we have a new sponsor. I don't know if you know this, Canada Dry. What? We have a sponsor for the Joke of the Week. So here is the Joke of the Week. It is from Zach Kelly, one of the combatants in AFW, one of our very good friends. So here is the Joke of the Week. Okay, Joke of the Week is brought to you by Slurm and their new line of drinks, Slurm Zero. No carbs, no sugars, no calories. Ride the worm, it's Slurm.
Oh my goodness, we couldn't have a better product than Slurm.
I'm telling you, Slurm. Drink, ride the worm.
A man went to the doctor. Tell the doctor, I've been having these horrible dreams where I'm wrestling a gorilla every night. Same dream. And the doctor said, okay, well, let me write you this. It should make the dreams go away. The man said, may I start tomorrow night? The doctor said, why? He said, well, because tonight I'm scheduled to wrestle for the championship.
All right.
That's great.
If you have a joke and you want to have it played on our podcast, by God, Canada Dry, JFB, message us, send us a copy. It's got to be in video form. We're not going to read your damn joke online.
Mr. Provolone, I want a joke from you in my inbox by the end of the day.
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, good Lord. I'll try my hardest.
Yeah, just
put it that way.
Keep it clean. Okay. Keep it clean.
Hopefully, we'll have you on the show for Joke of the Week next week.
All right, we'll see what I can come up with.
Joke of the Week. So let's get to the round table. Let's get to our main event.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Woo! Main event time.
Main event.
We are, of course, going to talk about various amounts of topics, a cornucopia of topics, if you will.
Cornucopia.
And we decided, virtual cornucopia.
Yeah.
And so we decided to kind of do 6 questions to the group here. 3 of them for about WWE and 3 of them for AEW. So the first one I want to go through.
Wait a second. I have to ask you a question. What is a cornucopia? Is that little thing that you put in the middle of the Thanksgiving table?
Yes.
Is that what that is?
Yes. That's a cornucopia. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I like the word plethora.
Yeah, plethora. Yeah.
Plethora.
But you can't put a plethora in the middle of your Thanksgiving table.
Because that's what the Indians gave.
You can make a new device and say this is the Thanksgiving plethora.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, they offered the horn and peace, and then the pilgrims slaughtered them and killed them with disease. I mean, it's a classic
plethora of diseases.
And we brought Brooklyn with a bunch of beef, so white people problems. So our first topic is going to be Randy Orton. So we're celebrating.
Speaking of white privilege,
20 years of Randy Orton. This man has amassed 14 World Heavyweight Championships, He had kind of a lackluster celebration. So my question to you guys to debate is, where does he stand right now in terms of the greats? Obviously, with Flair and Cena both having 16, Hogan with, I don't know, 9 or 10. Where does Randy Orton fit into this whole scheme of things? I will leave it to you guys.
You got to pick someone to start, though. So,
Canada Dry, you'll go first.
All right. So, as I said, I'm not a big Randy Orton fan.
Yeah.
I said this in the last episode. He is the most underwhelming 16-time champion in the history of wrestling.
Yeah.
All his reigns, I really can't pick out one that's been like, wow, he just killed it. They're all just kind of piddly reigns, and that could be a shirt, piddly reigns. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Randy Orton, but you've been in the business, and everyone's actually maybe changing my mind. They're saying what a great guy he is, and how much he's grown. So,
yeah, Magician, what do you think?
Randy Orton, for me, is probably got to be in the top 15. I mean, he's entertaining. I love the Legend Killer thing that he was doing then. My favorite match is actually against The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell, which is really one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, I agree with what Canada Dry said there slightly. His range, you don't really remember him for the good reasons.
Yeah. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, my personal opinion is to rank someone on a list does not really count. You shouldn't have to take titles into consideration. It's all in workability. I think Randy Orton's one of the best there is. I would say higher than top 15. I put him in the top 10 for sure.
Wow.
And of course, him being around the business, in the business for 20 years, he's been around it for a lot longer than that. Because as we very well know, wrestling runs in his family, third generation superstar. So I think honestly, he's at least in the top 10, if not a little bit higher than that.
My only argument with that is that he's played the same character for 20 years.
In different aspects.
Except naming himself the Legend Killer. He was the same guy back then as he is now. He doesn't have that ability to refresh like someone like Chris Jericho.
Right.
So would you say his character?
To me, I'll go ahead, Lee.
Sorry, would you say his character's a bit stale then? Today?
That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I think he's probably one of the best workers, because if you have a new guy, if you have a returning superstar, you need someone. He's a great worker. There's no doubt about it. You don't win 14 championships. You don't become the youngest heavyweight champion or world champion with a promotion if you don't have the pedigree to back it up. And that guy's work is undoubtedly amazing, but he is so underappreciated. And we could turn him into an actual snake. George, I'm telling you, man, he's day drinking. But I think he's probably one of the most underappreciated wrestlers, because he's never had to take the company and put it on his shoulders. You always had Cena, you have Roman Reigns, you have Randy, and Randy's just kind of there, and he just does his thing. So my question to the rest of you guys is, do you think he's going to break Cena and Ric Flair's record of 16 championships? Canada Dry.
No.
I think he will, because he's young enough still, and he's got 1 or 2 reigns left in him. So I think he will, but it won't be a big deal like Cena and Flair.
What do you think? Magician?
Yeah, I mean, I think he will beat the record, but the thing I'm thinking is, what has he got left to prove in WWE at the moment?
Nothing. What do you think?
I don't think he will. I think that the respect is there from Orton to Flair to not want to surpass 16. Same way with Cena. Cena stopped at 16. He didn't want. I don't think he really wanted 17.
Yeah.
So he stopped there, and I think Orton is in the same mind frame. I mean, I can see him winning at least one more, but I don't see him surpassing 16.
Yeah, I would love to see him with one more good title reign and a really decent program with probably not so much an established star, but a up and coming star. I would love for him and Braun Breaker to tear the house down when Braun eventually makes it to the main roster. I would love to watch Braun Breaker and Randy Orton. I think that those two guys would have dynamic matches.
Prediction: Braun Breaker will have a name change.
No, they're going to stay with Braun Breaker.
That's his name change. It's a prediction. They will tap into his genealogy and change his name eventually.
Okay. I'll take you on that bet. I'll take you on that bet. That's a good prediction. I'm going to give the odds of that 14-1 odds. So,
with 20 Canadian loonies.
Yeah. That's a bag full of loonies, Joe. Yep. All right. So let's go to our second topic, and that is going to be with the AEW originals like Joey Janela, Stu Grayson, and several others were not renewed or not given new contracts. Do we think that AEW and Tony Khan are kind of doing them dirty when they carried AEW through the pandemic era, when there was no crowd, when they were not traveling, they were stationed in Jacksonville the entire time? They had to fall back on these guys and Sonny Kiss and so on. Do you think that Tony Khan did them dirty by not extending their contracts? Magician, we'll go with you first.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, but when you look at the roster's pretty stacked. Yeah, I get that. Obviously, they were there from the start, but when you look at it, they can honestly look back and say, we were there when AEW needed us most, like the history thing, so to speak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Mr. Provolone?
Well, it's just the way you say it, dude. I think personally that, because they carried through the pandemic and they kept the show going, a part of me thinks, they kind of did. Yeah. But you stop and think, too, how many people they got in that company? Yeah. So easily someone could be left behind or put on the back burner. Unfortunately, it was these people who carried the company through the pandemic that are the ones suffering from this. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Just in my opinion on that.
Yeah. Canada Dry, lay it down. What do you think, brother?
Before I do this, I want to say this. Mr. Provolone. To address that, I want to say I think that, really AEW did them a favor by letting them finish out their contracts. You're not owed a new contract at all.
Yeah.
You earn that next contract. Yeah. And if you're not doing something to stand out and make every single minute count, then you don't deserve the next contract. And Joey Janela, he had every opportunity. He was in the main event on Dynamite like a couple times, I think. And he had matches with Omega and Mox. And he's a bigger name because of it. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing with me, you have to, I think you have to kind of give some sort of respect at some point to the guys that carried you through the pandemic, because we're talking very uncertain times. There's no travel, there's no fans, there's no interaction. Any of those wrestlers could have said, nah, I'm not going to risk my health to wrestle day in and day out. They followed, of course, COVID protocols. They got tested all the time. They wore masks. They put their health on the line, and I think they should have given at least some kind of
business. JFB, it's a business. It's not.
I do understand that. I do. I'm like Mr. Chadwick. I'm 50-50 on this. I mean, for me, there should be some kind of, more than just a pat on the back and saying, hey, thanks for helping us through the pandemic, and you're out of here. I mean, for me, the big surprise was Stu Grayson, because Uno is still technically under contract. So do we see more of these AEW originals getting no contract?
Honestly, I think most of the Dark Order should be cut.
Yeah. Who do you think from the Dark Order should stay?
10 and a J. Evil Uno.
Yeah.
Angel, yeah. That's about it.
-1?
Yeah, -1, of course.
Yeah, you gotta keep -1.
If you didn't say him, he'd come over there and kick your ass. You know.
Yeah.
Who out of the Dark Order would you keep?
I mean, 10 Preston. I like Preston Vance. I think is a solid get for them. I mean, Evil Uno. I don't know. Without Stu Grayson, I don't. Uno to me is just
Colt Cabana. He's done nothing since.
That's true. Yeah, but it's Colt Cabana. I mean, this is a guy who revolutionized wrestling podcasts. He's got a huge following.
You got to make the point that Colt Cabana would be bigger on the Indies and would.
Oh yeah. Colt Cabana made his career on the Indies.
So.
Right.
Him being in the dark, being on dark matches, and being in the background, it's not really doing him any favors star wise.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Anna Jay, obviously, because the women's division, I think can't afford to lose wrestlers for AEW right now. But to me, Preston Vance is probably the biggest guy on that roster right now. He's
Alan Angels is pretty damn good too.
Yeah.
He's a lot like he's all. Who's the guy they just cut or didn't resign?
Oh, Stu Grayson.
Yeah, Stu Grayson, Alan Angels, very similar wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you guys think?
I mean, I'd definitely keep Anna Jay, as obviously JP mentioned there. The women's division's pretty much, it's on the up. I mean, it's better than what it has been. Preston Vance, I mean, I'm a big fan. I'm not too sure what I reckon with the mask, though. What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, it's a toss-up. I think, whether he stays or goes, I mean, he's going to have a modicum of success on another promotion, and especially the Indies. I mean, I don't see him catching on with anywhere else other than going on the Indies and being like, hey, I was in the Dark Order and I was in AEW, and that's gonna make him a living,
I personally want to keep Silver. I'm a huge John Silver fan.
Yeah,
huge. So, I was a bunch. Yeah, I would definitely keep him personally if it was up to me.
I think he can have a decent run.
The guy out of all of our Dark Order you keep?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'd keep him.
Yeah.
No, but who else?
Well, obviously -1. I don't want him to kick my butt. 10 has been really good. I've enjoyed what he's done in the ring. Those are the three really that stick out in the group. It just for me, it would be them.
Well.
Yeah,
really?
I'm not really. No, I'm not really. No. I haven't been able to get behind. I haven't been able to get behind Anna Jay, especially with the Dark Order, because I really don't see her doing much, but just there,
Yeah.
So I can't get behind there.
Do you think she's got too much to learn, though?
Oh, I think she's got a lot to learn. I think we all got a lot to learn.
Maybe she'll come back to her magician gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get to our number 3, and that is with news coming out that Austin Theory is Vince's pick to be the next John Cena. Let's go into the future, 10 years from now. Who do we think, guys and girls, that are going to lead the company 10 years from now? Jeff Chadwick, you go first.
Who we think that they're going to lead the company?
Yeah, so Roman Reigns kind of fades into glory.
One right off the top of my head, I know he's kind of a little rough around the edges right now, but I can guarantee it's going to happen. Dominic Mysterio. Yeah. I think within 10 years, he's going to be a huge superstar. Can't really say he's going to be as huge as his father, but he's going to be right up there. Austin Theory, for sure. I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. You look down on the NXT roster, obviously Braun Breaker. that's a given. They have quite a few people that I could name, but I'm sure we don't have the time for it. But there's quite a lot of people in WWE on any of the rosters, whether it be Raw, SmackDown, NXT, NXT UK, Ilya Dragunov. I'll just name that one more. I think he's got a long way in his career too. So plenty of people on the roster.
Magician, how did you do that? Why did you make me disappear?
The magician did a Alakazam and made Canada Dry disappear.
But
And then he reappeared.
That was kind.
I did say I'd do a trick.
I'd give you $1 to do it again, but I'm flat broke. So it's
all right, Canada Dry, I'm going to give it to you. Who do you see leading the charge 10 years from now in the future for WWE?
Braun Breaker and Austin Theory, I see as the main guys. But other than that, I don't think they've discovered them yet.
Yeah. Okay. Magician, what do you think?
I agree with what Mr. Provolone said. I think Braun Breaker is definitely going to be one for the future. Dominic Mysterio, that were a really good shout. And that's the only two which come to my mind. I mean,
you're not an Austin Theory guy?
I'm not a big fan, I'll be honest. I cannot get behind him, to be honest.
What, taking a selfie. Come on.
Oh my God. He's got Vince McMahon on speed dial.
I can't believe this is the first
I may. Hold on, let me find out.
I'm going to go with the same. I think Braun Breaker is probably the biggest stud that WWE has right now, and they're going to pay him out the nose. Mm-hmm. Vince McMahon is going to crap $1 million bills to pay this kid to stay because
what's his real first name? Anyone know?
Brock something, I think. I don't know.
I thought it was Bronson.
His new gimmick.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, it's Bronson.
Bronson Reichsteiner.
Yeah.
His new nickname is going to be the Stud Muffin Steiner.
Oh, good Lord.
Stud.
I'll give you two who I think are going to lead the charge for the women, and that is going to be Mandy Rose's two cohorts.
Look at that.
Their names.
Their
names.
Has a good one.
Be MJF. Honestly, MJF ain't going to leave.
That's very possible.
Nah, not going to happen. If it does, it would be the biggest mistake in MJF's life because he's got full carte blanche to be an asshole. Right. And to do whatever he wants to do. He can never get away with that crap on WWE at all. They would censor him like a pillow.
Well, that would be one of the things of conditions of him coming over is creative control, but they could easily take that away as soon as they give it.
Yeah, but they're PG. I mean, they're a publicly traded company. Nobody is going to want to see your big name superstar dry humping a statue at the Pittsburgh Airport. Nobody. Vince McMahon would have a stroke. And then when he died, he'd come back to have another stroke. That's how pissed Vince McMahon would be. Corey Jade and Nikita Lyons. Nikita Lyons is freaking phenomenal. But, Braun Breaker is going to be the guy that they're going to strap that rocket to if Austin Theory doesn't live up to the hype. Because Braun Breaker is just a stud. I mean, that guy works. He's a workhorse. I mean, sure, he's only got like 4 or 5 minute matches, but I think we're going to see a lot of huge things from him.
Talked about women, Xia Brookside.
Yeah,
I can definitely see her. I mean, we know, obviously she comes from a wrestling family. Her father wrestled. Her skills in that ring are really good. I can see her down the road 10 years leading the pack for the women too.
The problem with the women's division, women don't have that long shelf life in WWE. So you got a very limited amount of time to become stars.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's go to number 4. While the men's division in AEW, it is stout. It is packed from top to bottom. Some would say that the women's division is coming up extremely short. So do they need an influx of new faces, or do they need to try to build up the people that are already in their system? Because in all honesty, you have Cargill with the TBS championship. You may have one or two that are going to constantly rotate, challenging for that. But in the women's division, you have Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and then you have Thunder Rosa, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you have three women that are going to constantly keep going after that belt. Do they bring a new influx like Tony Storm and they go to the Indies, or do you think that they need to stay home, get the girls that they have currently right now, and start building them up to be the next big challengers? And I'm going to go to you, Canada Dry.
Okay, so I think it's a combination of both of those things. They need to use what they have better, and that involves getting that ROH TV deal or streaming deal. And they need to go to Impact and NWA and different places other than WWE and get some of those people like our friend Natalia Markova, like different, like maybe even the NWA champion right now they could get eventually. That would be a good get for them too. Lots of different stars they can get, but they also need to really utilize what they have. And I think that as their streaming deal and their ROH TV deal gets going, you'll see a better picture.
Yeah. Magician, what do you think?
I agree with Canada Dry. I think it is a combination of both. I think a few more. There's some free agents like Angelina Love, who's obviously a free agent. I mean, I think she'll, obviously, with her knowledge, will probably help. I mean, go to NWA, as Canada Dry said. I think, it's a combination of both. And hopefully with the ROH stuff, we could see United on the rise.
Sweet. Mr. Chadwick, your thoughts?
This is going to be a first. I agree with Canada Dry. So mark it on your calendar. I agree. I think right now, as it sits in AEW, I don't think there's anyone right now at this point in time that can beat Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your bigger women like Nyla Rose, sure, but I don't see that happening. You might have a better shot, like with some free agents, like someone from the NWA or someone on the indie scene, could possibly throw her off, and that's all she needs to lose the title. Right now, Jade's got it in lockdown, so it's not going to leave her side for a while. So they need to. I've been saying this for a while that the women's division needs to step it up a little bit, and they did when Britt Baker won the title. Yeah. But since then, it's been kind of.
Text message. I'm getting a text message.
Uh-oh.
It's from Natalia Markova. She says that I need to promote her better. So sorry, Natalia. We will promote you to the moon and back.
Yep.
Dock your pay for not doing that.
I thought I did a good job.
Oh, he's got to do the job, yo. He's got to do the job. Hey, listen, that AEW's women's division needs a boost, and it comes from what they have currently right now. It would be awesome if they had an association or a working relationship with Stardom, because that's a great women's wrestling organization promotion. You're right. Get Maria Kanellis to help book the division. Listen, she wants to do her own promotion. Bring her in, because that woman's got a brain for the business. Let's go to our number 5. Our number 5 is, of course, with Roman Reigns doing some of his best work as a heel. Who is the next babyface to take one or both of his titles, and when do we see it happening? Mr. Magician, prognosticate. Who's the babyface, and when does he drop the belts?
Press the digitate.
I have not got the answer, to be honest, who's going to dethrone him, because, I mean, he's had the title for how long now?
600 days.
Yeah. A year.
Yeah, exactly. And when you look at the roster, who's it going to, jump up a little bit? I can't see it. People think it's Cody, but I can't see it being Cody. I have not got the answer to that, I'll be honest. Sweet.
He is speechless, ladies and gentlemen. Utterly speechless. Mr. Chadwick.
That's it. That's a first. I've got 2 people in mind. One would be Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
And I could see that as soon as either SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
Okay.
Two could be Braun Breaker. When he gets called up, I think he could be possibly Roman Reigns' biggest threat yet to date. I mean, we've seen a lot of people come and go, and try to beat him. Actually, there's one more I can think of right now, and he happens to be one I could see a heel even taking it off of him, and that being Gunther. He has lost 30 pounds, the best shape of his career.
Yeah.
And he's looking absolutely amazing in that ring. If you put Gunther in there with Reigns, let me tell you something. So those are my three picks on who I think could take the title off.
Canada Dry with your hat backwards, looking all smooth and
all right.
Chill.
I've got one person and one person only, and that's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
They could make a huge deal out of this. Paying homage to Dusty and everything. Make a big hoopla about Americana and just like the grandson of a plumber. You could have confetti coming down from the ceiling Monday Night Raw after. It would be epic, and I can't see anyone else doing it other than Cody.
All right, all your answers are wrong. He is going to lose in 2032 to an android. Android. That's
Damn.
Data from Star Trek is going to do it.
Yes.
He's
going to lose to an android.
My Android? My Android.
Right?
Yeah.
He's going to lose to an iPhone, damn it.
He's going to lose to a Samsung S46. S46, that is the correct answer.
Right.
Let's go to our final topic, and that is this. Tony Khan finalized the purchase of Ring of Honor this week, and it looks like he's going to infuse a lot of AEW talent into Ring of Honor. So far, mostly replacing former champs like Deonna Purrazzo with his talent, a.k.a. Mercedes Martinez. Is this good for the short term, booking of Ring of Honor? Mr. Chadwick, you may go first.
Oh, good Lord. This is one I was hoping not to go first on. I think personally, this will do it good. I think that I've always been a fan of Ring of Honor up until the point that I couldn't watch it anymore because Nesson stopped carrying it. Yeah. But I love the talent there. Absolutely love the talent there. More so actually than AEW, to be honest with you. Ring of Honor are all up and comers or those that have been around for not ages, but for a long time, and they know what they're doing in the ring. And I love the Code of Honor thing. Absolutely think that every company should carry that. Yeah. And I think them having pay-per-views, especially joint pay-per-views with AEW, would help boost the company a lot more than what it already has. Yeah. So I think, honestly, this is a good thing. Really good thing.
Canada Dry, what do you think?
Okay, so there's been some information that Meltzer said that there's a lack of money in AEW right now, and that more money is coming in 2024. So I think it's a budget thing with AEW that they don't want to have a gigantic Ring of Honor roster, so just using their own guys and having a few ROH guys is just a budget thing. And once they get the next deal, the next influx of money, then I think you might have some more talent coming in.
Magician, what do you think?
I think obviously it'll help the AEW roster because obviously, as we all know, it's pretty much stacked. So I think infusing it with the Ring of Honor will help it dramatically over the short term. Long term, I guess until we get this TV deal, we do not know.
Yeah. So what do you see? Where do you guys see Ring of Honor in 5 years?
Oh, geez. I see them booming, actually. I mean, I think with Tony Khan purchasing the company, I think he's the mastermind. Of course, he was one of the masterminds starting AEW. Look where it is now. No different. I think he's going to take Ring of Honor to the same place AEW is, and it's going to be one of the biggest. I think they will also be a threat to WWE in the future.
Interesting. Canada Dry, what do you think?
I think it will become the NXT of AEW,
yeah.
And some guys will never make it past Ring of Honor.
Did we lose him?
Froze. Did you make Canada Dry froze, Mr. Magician?
I did not do anything this time. This is not me.
I think Canada Dry went flat. You left the top open just a little bit.
Oh boy! All right, let's go to you, Magician, while Canada Dry fixes his technical difficulties.
So the best thing, obviously, what has happened to Ring of Honor is obviously it's basically no under Sinclair, because to me they didn't really give. With part of my friends, they didn't give a shit, to be honest. Yeah. So obviously putting it in the hands of obviously Tony Khan, who we know is a big wrestling fan. I think having somebody who is a big wrestling fan, he does listen to the fans, and yeah, I think there will be a threat to WWE. Yeah.
All right, Canada Dry, you're back, you son of a bitch. Where the hell did you go?
At the bottom of the screen, it says I'm on twice. So
yeah, I know. I got rid of the copycat.
If you're bumped from the thing, close your browser, because that'll get you back in faster.
Okay.
There we go. Under the learning tree with Canada Dry.
I just figured that out. I was trying to restart it from the same browser, but close it, start again.
All right. Here's my deal. I love Ring of Honor. I was a huge fan of Ring of Honor in the very beginning when they started. They had a shitty TV deal with Sinclair. It's going to be cleared up. I don't know if they're going to be on TNT or TBS. I think True TV might be a good place, but they're going to find a decent amount of viewership. But to me, 5 years from now, I think they are going to be a tremendously successful company. But I think they're going to operate differently in a completely different entity than AEW. They'll have the same owner, but I think they're going to have two different paths. And they may crisscross, they may not. We don't know. But I think they're going to be two different entities, which is really an ideal way to.
It doesn't seem like that right now, though.
Oh, it doesn't. No, but this is 5 years from now. We're prognosticating the future. All right, so
I do not prognosticate.
But what day do you put them on? What day do you actually put the actual show on?
I put it on a Thursday.
In competition with Impact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right now, Impact is on AXS. I mean, unless you're the 500,000 people that have access to AXS, nobody's watching Impact. I mean, that's just the sad part. Until Impact.
Do you guys think Impact will be around in 5 years?
Nah, I think they'll still be around.
Yeah, I mean, they've already been through hell.
They'll be on life support.
Could you see AEW eventually owning it?
Possible. I mean, Tony Khan's got the bucks. He's got mucho dinero. So who knows? I mean, the problem with Impact was the same problem with Ring of Honor. You don't have enough eyes on the product. Nobody's watching it. Nobody cares, and which sucks because their last pay-per-view, which was last night, was a great pay-per-view. I mean, it was a fantastic pay-per-view, top to bottom, and their buy rate was decent. But how are you going to follow it up? I have Hulu TV, and I don't have AXS. And even if I went with my cable company, they don't have AXS either. So there's only 600,000 people that have access to AXS, which is not a lot. Yeah. I mean, Ring of Honor, you're right, Joseph. Ring of Honor may very well be just streaming on, whatever platform that they're going to go on. So let's get to my favorite part. We're going to do this really quick. This is the lightning round. This is where the points double and it's all toil of trouble. I'm going to list out a name.
Me anymore.
I am going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a name. Stock up or stock down. And here we go. Drew McIntyre, Canada Dry, up or down?
Stock has gone down.
Ooh, Magician?
Stock down.
Oh, man. Nobody likes Drew. Jeff?
Stock up.
There we go. I'm with Jeff. I'm going with stock up. He is going to have a great rivalry with Roman Reigns. Wardlow, stock up or stock down? Magician.
Stock up.
Christopher Malone.
Stock up.
Canada Dry.
His stock is on the rise, and I say bye, bye, bye.
Bye, bye, bye. That's right. Jim Kramer, go to hell. Bye, bye, bye. Let's go to Sammy Guevara as a heel. Stock up, stock down. Mr. Provolone.
Stock down.
Oh, Canada Dry.
His stock is a bit down.
Yeah. What do you think, Magician?
Stock down. I agree with these two.
Yeah, I'm in agreement too. Stock down. I don't like current heel Sammy Guevara. Finn Balor, stock up or stock down? Canada Dry.
His stock is down. He needs a better push in WWE.
Magician.
Stock down.
Jeff.
For now, stock down. But
Yeah.
something tells me that might change very soon.
For me, unless he's leaving for AEW or New Japan, stock is crashing down. Let's go to Cody Rhodes. Stock up, stock down, Magician.
Stock up, but I can see that going down in the next few years.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Chadwick?
Stock up, definitely.
Canada Dry.
Once again, bye, bye, bye. Cody Rhodes is the next big thing.
I'm going to go with stock up as well. Let's go to Yuta. Mr. Provolone, what do you think? Stock up, stock down on Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Stock up. Sorry. I had a brain fart there for a second. I'm like, wow.
Forgot your
Definitely
provolone.
stock up. Yeah. I dropped my provolone, right. Definitely stock up. He's come a long way.
Yeah, Canada Dry.
Wheeler Yuta is on the rise.
And Mr. Magician.
Stock up. I mean, these two have pretty much summed it pretty
When
well.
he
He's on
said
the
that,
rise.
sounds like he's saying he's stuck up.
He is stuck up, and the stock is up. I'm going to go with all four of you guys as well. Let's go to Ruby Soho. Canada Dry. Stock up, stock down.
The stock for Ruby Soho is sinking fast.
Yeah. Sell. Magician.
Stock down drastically.
Provolone.
I ain't putting a cent in this one. Stock down.
I sold my stock when she was Heidi Lovelace. Stock down. Here we go. Ronda
John, so
Rousey.
entrance music is oddly rising
Yeah.
still.
Entrance music is stock up.
Yes.
Lance Hendrickson is
Ruby
freaking
Soho.
awesome. Let's go with Ronda Rousey. Magician, stock up, stock down.
I don't think it's up or down. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you
good
think,
point.
Mr. Chadwick?
Stock up, definitely.
And Canada Dry.
I'm gonna agree with the Magician. That's a good point. So I'm gonna say it's even keel.
Even keel. I'm going to say up because I have a feeling she's going to beat Charlotte tonight for the belt. Let's go to NXT releases being a annual event. Mr. Provolone.
Yes. Well, let's see. Well, I don't know what to say on this one. I don't like these releases, so I guess I could say stock down on them.
Okay. Canada Dry.
So we're just still saying stock down on these, or just saying our thoughts?
That's what I was
Stock
trying
down,
to
stock up.
think.
Well, never stock down. That's a bad idea.
Liam.
Stock down.
I am all for stock up. Here's the reason why. You got to get rid of dead weight. There's a lot of guys on there that don't belong wrestling in. Stock up for me. I like these releases. It gives us stuff to talk about.
Imagine if they were on Prime Video. That would be sick.
What's that?
If they had some ROH on Prime Video.
That'd be great. I mean, they're paying out the nose for everything else. They might as well pay for Ring of Honor too.
Right.
Let's talk about Walter. Stock up, stock down. Canada Dry, you go first.
Stock up.
All right. Liam?
Stock up.
Yeah.
I'm kind of even Steven on this one. Give it a little bit. We'll find out.
I'm going to go with stock up. If we're talking about Gunther, I say stock down. It's the stupidest name I've ever heard. All right. Let's do two more. Let's do Josh Alexander. Liam, stock up, stock down.
Stock up. I mean, I was super happy that he's actually won the title, to be honest.
Yeah. And Mr. Chadwick.
Stock up.
And Canada Dry.
That is a big stock up. He was recently in a car accident, and he just said, tell all your loved ones how much you care about, because you never know. And I just really found myself like in sync with that guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah. For me, it's stock up. That guy is a stud. Whoever he ends up signing with after his Impact time is basically bought themselves a 24-karat diamond. So one more. Let's go with Stone Cold possibly wrestling at WrestleMania 39 next year. We're going to go with Mr. Chadwick. Stock up, stock down.
The way he performed this year, definitely stock up.
All right, Canada Dry.
Stock down. Those kicks were brutal.
The only person that's going to like that is Haney.
Right.
And Liam, stock up, stock down on WrestleMania 39.
Stock up. I mean, it's been away for 19 years, and it's always entertaining when we see Stone Cold.
Yeah, listen, I'm all for Stone Cold Stunners and a whole bunch of brewskis. Stock up for me. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Our roundtable is done. The lightning round. Everybody scored 4,567 points. JFB.
Holy shit. Look
Yeah,
at the
I got
time.
400. Huh?
Unfortunately, we got have Kenny on today. We ran out of time.
That's right. We
We're
went
gonna have to
over
bring
the
him
hour.
back next week. Sorry, Kenny.
Sorry, Kenny. Kenny. Damn it, Kenny.
Went long.
I know he shows up every week ready to do the weekend review, and every week we have to bump him because we go over the hour. Yeah. So anyways, that is our show. You can find us on prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling to get all your cool effing wrestling shirts, including the one that Canada Dry is modeling for us in the black with the Just Another Effing Podcast logo. The Magician has his. Jeff Chadwick is wearing a golf shirt. He looks like Tiger Woods.
You can get a Jeff Chadwick shirt. What's your name? The one Jaden Collins.
Yeah.
Yes, the one Jaden Collins and the Prestige.
And the
Yes,
Prestige,
that's right.
yeah. So
We have the F Cancer shirt on there, I believe, still. So proceeds are going to American Cancer Society for that.
Awesome. And of course, the JFB has a shirt. I don't have it yet. It has been ordered. I'm just waiting for Pro Wrestling Tees.
It should be here.
But so ProWrestlingTees.com. If you're a fan of old school wrestlers and you love Adrian Adonis, you can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis and get your shirt. You can go to our website, effingwrestling.com. It's got all our links for all our social media. You can listen to Wrestling with the Paranormal on Fridays. You can listen to the Magic of Wrestling on Saturdays. You listen to us on Sundays. And then, top secret, I can't say much with the exception of we talked about Geriatric Fight Club. The other hint that I can give you is illegal cockfighting. That's all I can tell you. That's the most I can say. Geriatric Fight Club.
And also check out Effin' Wrestling for all our news stories that we've been busting our asses putting out with Liam and Dallas and myself.
We got a lot of people contributing to Effin' Wrestling. And if you want to join AFW, you can find us on Facebook. It's very simple, facebook.com. And you type in AFW and it will pull you right to our site. You can predict with us if you want to join the show. Link to YouTube, like and subscribe. And well, we were talking about the roundtable. We do, we have an inside with Hulk Hogan. We do talk to him, and we always give him our show notes. And what did the Hulk think? What did Hulk Hogan think about our show for this week? What was his thoughts on the?
I was on the old telephone like this. And
Yeah.
he's like, let me tell you something, brother. Hulk Hogan needs to be on the round table, and I'm going to give it to you how it is. And I said, Hulk Hogan, we don't want to hear how it is. You're old. You're out of the loop. You're racist.
Yeah.
And he hung up on me. So having Hulk Hogan on the show isn't going to happen for, I got to probably send him an apology. So that's Effin' Wrestling 52, Hulk Hogan, a big old goose egg 0, Canada Dry, out.
This has been an Effin' Worldwide Media production. You can find us on Twitter at All Effin' Wrestling or at Effin' Podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Effin' Wrestling. After that, why don't you go ahead and throw a T on your back? You can find us on the Pro Wrestling Tee store at prowrestlingtees.com/Effin' Wrestling. You can find all of this at our new website, effinwrestling.com. And as always, have a